Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful bedspread or throw. You can have it as a blanket, a throw, a bedspread, anything you want. I'm going to show you how to do these beautiful squares, how to easily join them at the points, at the corners, and then these 2 points. This is what This is what the squares look like when they're blocked. I'll show you how to block them. And before you block them, they're quite rumpled and kind of twisted. And a blocking board, I'll show you that. Make them wet and then put them on the blocking board to stretch them out into this beautiful shape. I'll show you that as well. It's really easy. It only takes about 10 minutes or so to make one square. 10 to 15 minutes to make one square. And you can knock a lot of these up while you're sitting watching the TV. They do have a right side and a sort of a wrong side. Sew it, when you sew them together, sew them from the wrong side. I'll show you how I sewed these together as well. Now I did mine in this beautiful candy pink and white. Do use any colour, any yarn. Use the hook, it tells you on your yarn label. I used a double knitting yarn and I used a 4.5 millimetre hook. That is a 7.5 if you're in the USA. So that's the size of hook that I used for double knitting. Double knitting is a weight 3 in the USA. It's beautiful. And you can do this as well. Beginners can do this. Don't think, oh, I'm just a beginner, I can't do that. You can, and I'm going to show you how to do each square. I'll show you how to sew them together as well to make this a beautiful blanket. So for these squares, I'm using a UK 4.5 millimetre hook. That's a 7.5 if you're in another country. Now, like I showed you at the beginning, these squares will come out misshaped and you've got to block them like this. Now, I will show you how to do this in the video. That's going to stretch them all out into the correct shape. Now, it's only 3 rounds to do this. It's only 3 rounds. You can make lots and lots of these really quickly. I'm going to start with a chain of 6. So make sure you've only got a little tail because we're going to wrap that tail in when we do the next round. You only need a little tail. So chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. You can use the hook size to whatever label it says on the yarn. You can use any yarn for this. If you use thick yarn, you'll get bigger squares. If you use thinner yarn, you'll get smaller squares. I'm using a UK double knitting. That's a weight 3 if you're in the USA. So we're going to go in to the very first stitch in your chain. Pull through and then pull through that stitch. Just slip it through. Now the tail we're going to work in as we go around this circle. Now, as you can see from these squares, I usually do a magic circle, but it won't stretch out like this. You need that hole as part of the pattern. That circle is part of the pattern. So that's why we've done a chain of 6. I'm going to chain 4. The chain 4 is classed as 1 treble crochet and 1 chain. And if you're in the USA, it's a double crochet and 1 chain. So I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's your first stitch and your first chain 1. We need 16 of these stitches all around. So that's stitch 1. So yarn over and do a UK treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. That's 2, chain 1, 1 more. That's 3 and chain 1. We need 16. 4, chain 1, 5 and chain 1. Now we're wrapping the tail around as we work. So that's 5. We need it to go to 16. So I've got 15 and I need 16. So I've got one more. Remember your chain 1 and I'm going to slip stitch to the 3rd stitch in this chain. Do you remember we started with a chain of 4? So count 1, 2 and 3 and slip stitch in. Now you can take your scissors and cut the little excess tail off. Cut that off. Now that's round 1 done. Round 2, you're going to slip stitch into the chain space. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 3. We're going to do the clusters. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now into the same chain, we're going to be working in the chain spaces. So we're going to be working in the chain spaces. So yarn over and do another stitch. Keep it on the hook. Yarn over and do one more. We're doing a cluster of 3. Yarn over and pull through all those stitches. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then put 3 stitches together in that space. Yarn over, that's 1, keep it on the hook. 2, keep it on the hook. And 3. Yarn over and come through them all and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to do that all the way around in each chain space. So I'll show you one more time to do the cluster. That's 1, keep it on the hook. 2, keep it on the hook. And 3. Now come through them all and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now work your way all the way around. So I'm on my last cluster and do my chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And to the top of this cluster, I am going to slip stitch. Now I'm going to slip into this space. We're going to slip into this space here. And I'm going to chain 1. This is the last round. We're going to do this pattern around. Now this is a white one. I should have put a pink one on the top. We're going to do the pattern on the corners. So I'm going to chain 1 first. Now into that chain space, we're going to do a UK double crochet. That's a single crochet if you're in the USA. So into that space. Now when we work around here, the count is 5. So what we're going to do is chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And double crochet or single crochet into the next chain space. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go into the next stitch with your double crochet. That's a single if you're in the USA. Now we're going to make our first corner. We're going to put 5 stitches, 5 chains and 5 stitches into this space to make that pointed corner. So it's a UK treble, which is a USA double. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now into the same space, do another 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Double crochet into the next stitch. It's a single if you're in the USA. Now we're going to work across to this space. We're going to do chains across. So chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get some more yarn out my ball. Double crochet into this chain space. So we've done our corner and a chain. We're going to do another chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and double crochet into there. Now straight into the next one, we're going to do that corner. We're going to build this fan. So it's 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you're working with me, you can pause the video and catch up. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And into the same space, put another 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Double crochet or single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and double crochet into the next stitch. Now into the next one, so we've got our 2 sets of chain. You've got your corner, we've got 2 corners now. Now don't worry that it looks like this, because you will have to flatten it out. It's called blocking, and I'll show you mine here. And this holds it all in shape. You make your little squares, you make them damp. Don't soak them. Just sprinkle them with water, give it a tiny little swish, make it damp, and then put it on to your pins. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can just use cardboard like this. I'll show you how to do that blocking after we've done this. You can use cardboard. You can put your square down and stick some pins in. Stretch it out to where you want it and put some pins in, and then put more of your squares on the top of it. Now, I didn't have enough pins on mine, so I've just used some pieces of wire. You can use pieces of wire, a wire coat hanger. Take the wire off it, cut the wire up into pieces, and then you can just, if you've got one of these and you're good at drilling holes, then you can drill holes. You can buy them on Amazon. Or if you just want to be really thrifty, use some cardboard. You can just double up some cardboard and push your metal spikes through your cardboard. So back to our square. I've done a corner and I've done my 2 sets of chain. So into the next one, we're going to do the next corner. 5 stitches, 5 chain, and 5 stitches. That's UK trebles or USA doubles, whatever country you're in. So into there, we're going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the same space to make the corner, do 5 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Double crochet or single into the next space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're working our way across these spaces to do the last corner. Double crochet into the next chain space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then double crochet into there. Now we're going to do our last corner here. So it's 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 more stitches. This is our last corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to slip stitch. We're back at the beginning. You're going to slip stitch into that double crochet that you made at the beginning. Slip stitch in there. Make sure you cut yourself a tail, because you'll need the tail to sew your blanket together. Just pull that through. Now we're going to make this damp. Just damp. Just put a little bit of water in your hand and dab it over the top of it and make it damp. So I'm going to show you how to block your crochet squares. Blocking means stretching them out into the proper shape that they need to be in. Now I've got this, it's called a blocking board. You can buy these on Amazon, lots of different websites. If you're really handy, you could actually make one. Now this one's got a stand that you put like this. I don't need that. You get these metal pins. Now if you don't have one of these, what you can do is you can get some cardboard. I'll show you with this. You can actually turn this into a blocking board. All you need to do is poke some holes into it and either use something like this. You can use pins, you can use darning needles, anything that you can pin in to hold your board. So you can use some cardboard or some, layer it up like this and you can keep it for a long time. Now I'll pop that. Now these ones are damp. I made them damp. I squished them with water. Now what you'll do is you put your pin in. I'm going to put it in the corner and put that one on. I want them all to be the same size. Well, we go with that one there and push that one in. Now 1, 2, 3, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9 there. We'll go in one just to keep it even. You do it to where you think 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'll put that one in there. Just push them in evenly. 1, 2. I've got 2 there. Just make sure you're putting them in so that they're even. I think we need to go, I'm going to go out one more and go in there with that one. I've got 3 spaces there. 1, 2, 3 in there with that one. And we'll copy the same thing. I've got 1, 2, 3, so count 1, 2, 3, then put that one into there. Got one in between and one into there. Then I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that one will go in there. You can adjust these. 1, 2, 3. Then that one went in. We're going to have enough of these. I might not have enough. I might need to change it or put something else in. 1, 2, 3. I've got some large darning needles. So what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3. Then that one went in. Put it in that way. It's a bit thicker. I'll hold that up. Then one, and that one went in there. 1, 2, 3. That is how you block your work. Now, what you'll do is you'll leave that to dry off. Just leave it for a day or so. I'll find something else to go in there to hold that up. Maybe a piece of wire or something. So what you'll do is you'll leave them in there. Now, I've got a couple more, and these are damp as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop them in the same places around these pins. Now, the other blocking board I had more pins than this one. You can buy extra pins. You leave them for, I don't know how long to leave them. I usually leave mine a day, a full day, till they've sort of dried off. And as they dry off, they should stay in that shape and they won't be twisted. And that should keep it in the shape. That's just one of the tails from, I think it's one of the tails from there. But don't worry about them. They'll be fine. So I'm going to leave them to dry off. I'm going to make a lot more. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew them at these points where these pins are. So I'll show you how I'm going to sew mine together. So to sew your squares together, I'll show you how I sewed them together. Now they've got a back side and a right side. So make sure the back side is up to you. What I did was I took my yarn and I just went under my stitches. We're going to join at this point, this point, this point, and this point. And I did that for my whole blanket. Now you can just hide your tail inside there. And then I just weaved in and out, up to the corner. And if you use a corresponding yarn, you'll be fine. You won't see it. So I went through the corner and then I took my other one. Make sure they're the right way around. So I've got the back of the squares facing me. And then I just went through that corner, put 2 stitches in. 2 is enough to hold it. 1 and 2. Then I'm going to weave down to these points here. So just weave your in and out. You're on the back of the piece anyway. Just hide it under the stitches, but not right the way through. Just catch the stitch, work up to here. It was a little easier than cutting my yarn at each point. You can do that if you want. Now lay it down and I'm going to catch this one. Just go through the stitch in the middle and back through that one. And I'll put 2 stitches in. 1 and just through there, and 2. Then work my way to this point, just sort of in and out with my thread or your yarn. Don't pull it too tight. To that point, and then we'll join them together. 2 stitches to join them together. So that's 1 and 2. Then I'll work my way across to the corner again on this one. Just work your way along, little stitches. Just hide it through the yarn. Just pick it up. I'm not going right through. You can't see it on that side. Now I know I'm using white and it's a bit difficult to see. Just don't pull it too tight. Make your way up to this corner. And don't pull it too tight. And then catch that corner and put 2 stitches. I put 2 stitches in. 2 stitches is ample. 1 and 2. And then what you'll do is you'll add your next one. Make sure I've got it round the right way. Then add the next one in the corner. Work my way up and join it here and here. Work my way around and then join those 2. Then just work in and out and join it there. And that's how you join your squares together. So I'm going to do the corner. I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to bring my yarn into the corner. I don't need a big tail. Just wrap that around 2 times to hold it in. And do a chain of 3. 1, 2 and 3. That's my first stitch. I'll move that round a bit. I'm going to crochet in the tail. So I'm going to put 5 in here, just the same as we did here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put another 5 in to that corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that will just fit around there. I'll trim that. So that's my corner done. Now I'm going to put 1 into each of these stitches that are along here. So 1 into there, 1 into the next stitch. I'm just doing my edge. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more is 5. So in here I'm only going to put 3 stitches in this space. 1, 2, and 3. Just keep a check on it and make sure it doesn't look too tight. If it's too tight, add extra in. If it's too loose, then take some away. So into that stitch there, I'm going to put 1, I'm going to put 3 in this space. 1, 2, and 3. And 1 into each stitch over here. Right, there should be 5. 1, 2, 1 into the next one, 5, and I'll do that all the way along. If it's too baggy for you, just put 2 in. You can put 2 in there if it's too loose. It depends on the yarn that you're using, so we'll try 2. Then we'll put 1 in the space in between, and then 2 in here, 1 and 2. That might keep it a little bit sort of straighter. Then we'll do 5 across here, 1 in here, and work your way along your blanket. So I've put 2 there. Just put 1 into each of these stitches. You don't want too many stitches or it'll end up being wavy. Now in this space I'm just going to put 1. I'm going to put 1 in through that space. See what it looks like. 1 into that space. And just work my way. That looks okay. Can work my way around. You can put another round in if you want. Do another corner when you get to the corner here. Slip stitch, you'll work all the way around, slip stitch to there. Break your yarn and then you can start in the corner again if you want another round done. So we've put 1 in there and I've got my 5 stitches here. That seems to work out nice. It's not too tight and it's not too slack. So I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in here we put 2. We decided on 2. 1 into the middle. Then 2 into that space. And then 5. And here we put 1 into the space, 1 into that joint, and 1 into that space, and then a 5. Then 2, 1 into the middle, and 2, and then your 5 along. And if you do that all the way along, you'll get a reasonably straight edge. Slip stitch to this corner. Then break your yarn and start your next round if you want more than 1 round. But you can leave it like that. I think it's pretty like that. You don't need to put a border on it. I'm going to work all the way along. When I get to this corner, I'll put my 5 stitches, 5 chain and 5 stitches, just like I did here on the square. Then 1 into each stitch, 2 into that space, 1 into that space, 2 into that space, 1 into each stitch. Then at this little joint, it's 1 in there, 1 in the middle, and 1 in there. And then your 5, 2, 1, and 2, all the way down. If it doesn't look right, if it's too tight, you can add some, you can put 3 in these spaces here. So just evenly, do it evenly, work your way around, all the way around your blanket, as many rounds as you want for your border. I like it like this. I like it like this. So I'm leaving mine like that. But if you want a border, that is an easy way to do the border. So I'm going to take this back out because I don't want a border on mine. I'm leaving mine like this. And once I put more squares on, I'm making this big enough for my bed. You might not see the end result because it's going to take me some more time to make more squares to put on my blanket. I'll move that up a little bit and you can see so far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 around. So I started with 4. I put 4 on of my pink. Then I circled it in the white. Then I put a row of pink all the way around, and then I went back to white. It's up to you which way you join them. But look at this. It is so pretty. It's so pretty, and when it's all spread out, I really like the edges like this. I'm going to leave mine like that. It is so pretty. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscribe button. And if you click on the bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting my channel, who have become members and who have went on to the coffee link and just bought me a cup of coffee as a thank you for all the videos that I've been putting up. And any money that's donated that way gets put back into the channel. It gets used to get yarn, it gets used to get me new hooks, all those kinds of things, the electricity, the lighting, all that kind of thing. That's what it helps for. At the moment, I'm trying to get a new camera. The system that I use uses Logitech webcams, and I'm trying to change it so I get a better quality picture, because the Logitech, when they've changed the program on it, it doesn't suit me anymore. It doesn't suit me because sometimes the quality of the picture isn't as good as it used to be, and that is an expensive webcam that's up there, and it's just not the same as the old ones. So I need to change that as well. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and like I said, subscribe to the channel. It's completely free to subscribe to YouTube channels. Click on the bell icon, you'll get a notification when I put up a new video. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.